Hello, hello. Welcome. Got my new sketchbook today. My mom gave me this sketchbook. She got it from a friend, and here I am with it now. Very cool cover. I like the embossed leather. There's the back side. It's got a cool little latchy guy. And I'm just kind of doing whatever I want in this. So we'll take a gander and see what I've been up to, because it's been about a month again. So, whip off the clippies. Alright, let's get into it. Try not to talk too much. Well, obviously I'm going to talk a little, because that's why we're here. Kind of opens weird. I will say I don't so much like this, because it's really hard to stay open. And that's why I have the clippies. So this was back in May. I was trying to draw portraits with, like, just pencil. I'm just trying to get better at that. So for my first page, I was like, alright, we do it okay. And then the next page is not so great. Because I was trying to do something different. I was like, oh, let's try and do, like, shading and values. And it did not go well, but you know what? We learned some things. It feels very Napoleon Dynamite, not gonna lie. That's fine. Whatever. Like, we're practicing. There's portraits happening. And the first one was strong, so, you know. This is just a watercolor of a chair in my backyard, because I got a new set of watercolors that I really wanted to try out. Just a little hedgehog guy. Again, trying out my new watercolors and a new brush. I have one of those brushes that has water on the butt side of it, and I've never really used one of those, so I was just playing with it to figure it out. Also, I really liked the colors on the watercolor that I got. Some pencil cats. Some little mice boys. Little field mice guys. I got into Beatrix Potter artwork pretty hard for a minute there, so I was like watching a documentary on her, and I was like, oh dang, she's pretty cool. I want soft little creature people. And I feel like her work is so much softer than I remember. I went a little harsh here, but that's fine. That's how we do. The cats were just quick. I really like my pigeon page. The pigeon boys, they came in, dude. That was the end of May. I just really like pigeons. I love birds, and this was another way for me to try my watercolor and some new, like, pens that are waterproof. Really like those. So they're like brown knockoff microns. Big fan. The watercolor palette, I think, is just master's touch, if I'm being honest. More thinking like Beatrix Potter. My thistle. I don't know. I struggle with just doing watercolor without, like, having a sketch underneath. But I wanted to try. There's the hair. This is a little softer. Alright, we got our Lord of the Rings boys. So again, just trying out those pens. And I was just trying to be fast with portraits and kind of loose. Yeah. Legolas, Aragorn, Gandalf, you know the squad. I should really do some hobbits. There's a beetle lady I wanted to draw, because I was just looking at some really cool beetles, and I was like, whoa, that would be sick as armor, so I made some pauldrons, and just, like, I don't know, little side beetle-y skirt thing. I can't remember the type of beetle it was, but it had 2 horns, and they were really cool looking, and I was like, yeah, like me some of that. That's the beginning of June. These are with Posca markers, by the way. Lady! So there's... I'm gonna go on vacation soonish, and I was trying a new style of drawing to try and be quicker and, like, I don't know, capture moments better, so I can be, like, out in the field and, like, drawing. So basically I watched a video and it was just like, okay, don't look at people as people, look at them as, like, just full shapes. So instead of, like, I don't know, looking at the person, you're looking at it as just, like, a filled-in shape. So it's just basically you go around the outside, including the sign, and you, like, do the big shape first, and then you just break it into smaller shapes. So I drew this line all the way around the figure and the sign, and then I cut off the head, and then I kind of did, like, the lines on the walls and stuff, And that really worked out for me. I actually really liked that. I love this one. I feel like this looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. Real proud of that. That's my boyfriend in Matsumoto house. This is me and my brother when we were in Iceland. These are both from photo references, by the way. So I need to figure out how to how to actually do this, like, in plein air. I feel like we both look really dopey, but it's kind of funny, and I like it. And my brother saved the picture, so I guess he liked it too. We were standing in front of this big puffin statue. This was testing out another new pen I got. It's called... Oh, actually, hang on, haha. It's right here. It's like Slicky. Oh boy. Yeah, Pentel Slicky. 0.25 black. This one is not waterproof, I found out, sadly. So this was just like test watercolor behind for these two portraits. And then I tried to do a couple quick Post Malones, and then also our Cat Gill. Does not look like him there, but the Post Malones turned out pretty alright, and that was also thinking of that method of just like one big shape, and then you cut it into smaller shapes. So there's our boy Posty. Post Malone's cute, I'm sorry. He's just, what a gentleman. What a nice little lad. Kind of weird that he got into country, but you know what? You do you. If you like that, that's what's up. Here I had some Caran d'Ache crayons that I had purchased, so I was like, let's see what the hype is with that. You know, they're fun. It's hard for me to be really loose. So that was a good way to practice that, and more whimsical. It's a really hard concept for me to get behind. It's very abstract thinking, and I'm not good at that, but I'm working on it. This looked so cute before I made the dog purple and yellow, dude. Whatever. I really liked how, like, the blue turned out in the background, because they're water-soluble crayons, so, like, you can kind of use them as watercolors. So that's what happened here, and kind of on this pomegranate, too. So I just, like, scribbled with the crayon, and then I went over with just a wet paintbrush and, like, blended it. So that's pretty cool. I like what this can do. I don't know if it's quite for me, though. You know? I don't know. These are just some flowers. This is a mug I have. Yeah. Boop. I was just doing some quick portraits. That was with the Slicky pen again. And then this is where I found out that it's not waterproof, because I tried to do watercolor over a drawing that I had let sit and dry for like a day first. And then I was like, dang it. Everything was like bleeding and blending in, and I was like, okay, we can't get away with this. So that kind of sucks, but whatever. And that was kind of tested here too. Things just got really muddy. So bummer on that, because I like that pen. I liked these two portraits. That's why they got the fancy little watercolor around them. And also where I learned stuff, just, you can kind of see it best there. It just spreads the ink real bad. Boop. Oh, I really liked this page. I was feeling like I want some little medieval ladies up in here. And that's what we did. And then I think these are either apples or pomegranates again. I want to say they were apples. Some cool looking deer statue guy. These were all just like reference photos off of Pinterest. This was a cosplayer, and I just put her in a window because I thought that would look cute. So yeah, there's that. Really liked how that page turned out, and I had a lot of fun with it. And then we went to our local, like, old movie theater, and they have really cool old windows there. So I took a photo of some of the windows, and I tried to recreate them with those Caran d'Ache crayons. So again, like using water to make it more watercolor looking. And I did that, and then I went over with crayon. I wanted to see what it was like with the dry on the wet. So yeah, digging this spread. But I had to put one of these in there because the color was starting to come on this side, and I was like, ah, dang it, let's not do that. You know, like, let's not. We were hanging out with a friend for this one, so it was just like group drawing sesh, you know. And he's also kind of trying to get into portraits right now, so it was cool to see like how he draws portraits and how I draw portraits. Very different. I mean, they're not optimal, but whatever. I had fun. That was with that Slicky pen and Posca markers. And then the gargoyle was actually with like a Le Pen. It was a felt tip Le Pen. I like the Le Pens. They're great. I like ink, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Also, I don't know what it is, but I struggle with getting like pupils in the right spot, so that's something I gotta work on. But I really liked how this lady turned out. She's kind of like vampire-y. And she had like really heavy eyeshadow on too, so I thought that was fun. Boop. Just some windmills. Just a quick little... I wanted to do some landscape type stuff. And then this was just a quick still life that I did on my lunch break at work today. Today! And that was with that slicky pen. And I wanted to see if markers would work on it, so this was the felt tip Le Pens. And you can kind of get away with that. They don't really smear the ink on that one, so that was good to know. Maybe I'll try like an alcohol marker and see if that becomes a problem or not. Also, I just started watching Clarkson's Farm, and I'm just like, God, I love the cottage life. I love the English countryside. I don't think I'd ever want to live in England, but it's cute to dream about, you know? So yeah, that's kind of it. Try to do it fast this time. I feel like this was an appropriate amount of time. Excited to draw more. Gosh, I don't even know what I want to work on right now. I think it'd be really funny, because I'm stupid, if I did a video where I'm drawing Jeff Goldblum, and we'll see if that actually works or not. I don't know, but I think that would be fun. Also, I just really like drawing celebrities. So, yeah. We'll see how that goes. Thanks for stopping in. We'll check this out again next month, hopefully. Y'all have a good night.